Do you want to make your photo stand out in the crowd? In this video, I'm going to share with you an old photography trick that you can do right now with a zoom lens. It's called a zoom effect. Let's go. The zoom effect is one of the oldest tricks in a photographer tool bag. As a photographer, we are artists. So how do you stand away from a crowd with their phone these days? We have to use all these tricks that we are capable of doing with our lens. Okay, our camera. Now with this zoom effect, the process is very simple. Let's talk about tool that we need first. Okay, we need a camera, we need a zoom lens. That's full stop. Okay. Also, we need a tripod. Any tripod will do. We need to be on a stable platform. Okay. First thing first, make sure you have those two. Okay, and you're good to go with this effect. With a zoom effect, there's only two steps to this process. The first step, you take a normal photo as you would normally. It's gotta be a long exposure, okay? Can't be in seconds, okay? So you have to be on a tripod, okay? So step number one, taking your normal exposure. Now, step number two, while halfway through your exposure, you are zooming the lens. That's it. That is the trick. Now, with experiment, when you take more photos, the result might be varies. Now, that is the process. Just two steps. Take half the exposure. First step, half the exposure. The second half of the exposure, you zoom the lens. Now, what is the best starting point, okay, of any exposure? Okay, let me give you the formula that I use normally. So I start with ISO 100, f8, and at a 6 seconds exposure for your shutter speed. Why 6 seconds, you might ask? Because within 3 seconds, you can do a half exposure, which in our photos, that you can see from my example here, that you can see there's still some sharpness to that photo. Okay, you want some sharpness, otherwise it just look too abstract. Okay, you want some kind of sharpness in your photo. So that's why there's the formula I give you is half the exposure. So you get that sharpness, some kind of sharpness there. People know exactly what we're talking about, what kind of photo we're taking. Now the other 3 seconds in this formula is when we take our time to zoom. Okay, 3 seconds is a good time. 5 seconds could be a problem. Okay, so that's why I suggest you with your zoom lens, 6 seconds is a good exposure, and half that exposure is for the zooming effect. You have to experiment, okay, with your own exposure at that time, your subject matter, but that is the formula I give you, okay? So f8, ISO 100, and shutter speed at 6 seconds. That is your starting point, and you experiment adjustment from there. That's it, my friend. That's how easy it is to do a zoom effect in your photography. Now go out there and create some amazing looking photograph that you can be proud to hang on your wall. And with this trick right here, you are standing out from the smartphone photographer. Hey, ask any smartphone photographer, can they do this? And why are we spending the money to spend on our cameras, on our lenses? This is the reason. I'll see you next time with another video.